I'm here bringing you some truly terrible news. No, GTA 6 is not cancelled. It is on the way, probably in the next decade or so. But beloved site Omegle has now officially shut down. This seems to be a common trend with a lot of companies. They rise and fall. Like, for example, I remember when YouTube first brought out that little yellow dollar sign, the demonetized symbol, that you would see all of your favorite YouTubers cry about because they said the F word in the first 30 seconds of the video. And then they thought, wait a minute, why don't I have any ads? And then from that, there was a company called VidMe that came out, which was meant to be like kind of a YouTube alternative. And then you had other sites like Storyfire. Storyfire, for example, paid me quite a lot of money to upload a single video on their site.
Wait, is that like the grumpy cat as a human being?
2 minutes into the film and you've already ruined it. And I'll be honest, that was the fastest bag I ever got in my entire life, because that website now, it is pretty much... No one talks about it. But to say that Omegle has shut down, I can now truly call myself an old man. I mean, I'm 26 at the minute, which, in internet standards, I'm basically a walking corpse. I should have signed my will years ago. Because most people that rise to fame now, they're like, I don't know, like 10 years old or something, because their parents were billionaires and then set them up through TikTok. Now, Omegle was a web-based chat online service. Basically, you'd sign up and then you'd be put through to someone that had similar interests, whether that was gaming, PewDiePie, or... I don't know, Fortnite.
Yo, do you want a 1v1, bro, in Fortnite?
That's crazy. You're a grown fucking man.
Did you say I'm a grown fucking man? Yo.
Yeah, you played Fortnite.
And then when you were connected to someone else, you'd basically have a conversation. Things would go from there. Now, originally, the website was meant to be, a way to create a community. You could meet like-minded individuals. Like, for example, you could sit there for hours and talk about how Reddit was one of the best websites on the entire internet until you posted an opinion that was so bad it got about 300 negative downvotes. And then you'd say the complete opposite. But one thing that made Omegle iconic was the amount of YouTubers that utilized it to basically interact with their community or do some kind of Omegle trolling.
What about all the dicks on there?
All the dicks? Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Shut up. It's too early in the video. I still want to get ads. Now, obviously, Omegle trolling went to a whole nother level because, for example, you would look up your favorite YouTuber, like, for example, PewDiePie. I remember when, Felix was doing Omegle trolling videos and KSI was doing it as well before he, did the whole sellout prime hydration drink.
Why am I always sucking you, bro?
I'm looking right now at when PewDiePie did Omegle trolling 9 years ago, and then one of his first videos on it was 11 years ago. Jesus Christ, we are all getting so old so quickly. It is terrifying. Dude, what year was this? 2013! 2013! I think he was actually younger than me, than I am now. Oh my God, I'm old. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. So originally, like I said, Omegle was a way for YouTubers to interact with their fans because YouTube content was just so easy back then. I mean, myself, when I first started doing YouTube, I did MLG videos where I just add like a lens flare or a PNG of a Dorito bag spinning on screen, somehow getting millions of views. And then after that, I copied Leafy and did a bunch of like prototype gameplay and Dying Light gameplay because I was too bad to play CSGO Surf. So content back then was incredibly easy. You could make like 5 videos a day, which is something that people like PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye actually used to do. But then Omegle trolling evolved from just YouTubers interacting with their fans. You then had people that would set up elaborate pranks, like for example, not actually using a live cam, but a pre-recorded video to act like, for example, they were being kidnapped.
What happened?
Look behind you.
What do you mean?
They really got that man.
And then on top of that, people would pretend that, for example, their Omegle session was haunted. So you'd have someone that would disappear, and then when they'd reconnect to someone else, a different user, there'd be like a huge Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare.
Hi, what do you guys think about my beautiful wife?
She's pretty. She looks like she's being held hostage.
No. She's very happy. Tell them how happy you are, sweetie. Tell them you're happy. See?
I got that on video. Whoever that was, I got you on video.
Delete it.
Now, the reason for Omegle shutting down is actually quite bizarre. Usually when a website shuts down, they run out of server space, or they run out of money, or they just don't really have anything else to do with the website. Like, for example, you had Vine, that is basically TikTok now. Vine was bought by Twitter, but they had no way to monetize it, so they completely ditched it, and then the Chinese copied them, and now you've got TikTok. But the founder for Omegle left a very bizarre message, basically saying, "The battle for Omegle has been lost, but the war against the internet rages on. Virtually every online online communication service has been subject to the same kinds of attacks as Omegle, and while some of them are much larger companies with much greater resources, they all have their breaking point somewhere. I worry that unless the tide turns soon, the internet I fell in love with may cease to exist, and in its place, we will have something closer to a souped-up version of TV, focused largely on passive consumption with much less opportunity for active participation and genuine human connection. Now, all of this sounds like a massive cope, but I kind of do see where the founder's coming from. For example, nowadays, people usually don't watch TV anymore, except maybe your parents do. But we usually watch streaming services, or your horror. But now it looks like companies like Amazon are actually looking at integrating advertisements into their streaming services. So again, it's like we're trying to escape TV, but we're not really. It's just, TV, but it's not live, and it probably has a bit of a bigger budget now. Now, Omegle did also release a blog post for the reason of the site being shut down, and the majority of the post, I'm not going to read all of it because it's basically the same length as Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, but basically the site's founder believed that for the amount of people that were using the site for good, as in to communicate with other people, to learn things, share ideas, there were people that were using it in very, very malicious ways. And Omegle did have a lot of good experiences. For example, for every couple that would meet on Omegle and get married, you would have someone that probably organized the shooting of someone else on Omegle. There's a quick TLDR too long didn't read on the blog post, basically saying, unfortunately, what is right doesn't always prevail. As much as I wish circumstances were different, the stress and expense of this fight, coupled with the existing stress and expense of operating Omegle and fighting its misuse, are simply too much. Operating Omegle is no longer sustainable, financially nor psychologically. Frankly, I don't want to have a heart attack in my 30s. Now, the creator of Omegle is in his 30s, like he said in the blog post, and his name is Leif K. Brooks, and he actually made the Forbes under 30s list. And he actually used startup money to fund other things like automated conversations with brands like Kiehl's, which is the skincare brand, but then also celebrities like Jason Derulo, Maroon 5, and 50 Cent. Now, Omegle being shut down has actually hit the last 4 people that still unironically do Omegle videos in current year really, really hard. Like, for example, Luke AFK, that did a compilation of Omegle trolling that got like tens of millions of views. And then when he found out that Omegle was being shut down, he basically tweeted out saying, I've lost my job, Lamau. Just to give you an example of how old Omegle is, I've talked about KSI, I've talked about PewDiePie, but even Critical 11 years ago made a video before he even showed his face or did any kind of like commentary to a camera called Omegle Gameplay and Commentary, and it's just about what you'd expect.
What's up everybody, it's Critical. I'm playing Omegle. Now I know this is not really a game, but I made a game out of it. The objective is to be as polite as possible and still have the other person leave. We have made contact. Now let's see what this stranger is all about. Let's see what they're up to.
Now, obviously, the creator of Omegle has gone into detail about why he wanted to shut the website down, but unfortunately, in the past couple of months, or in reality, more like the past couple of years, the website has really been used by very malicious people. Like, for example, when I would go on TikTok and scroll through the live section, anytime Omegle would come up, it would actually be someone pretending to be a child so they could get a hookup from a stranger, and the chat would usually be like, how old are you? I'm 2 years old. I'm literally in the pram right now. And then the guy replies saying, oh, I'm 35. Give me your location so we can meet. And then obviously they give their Snapchat over or something. And then the guy doing the live would leak their Snapchat to all the viewers and they go and harass this guy, which again is totally justified. But obviously that is not what the creator of Omegle wants Omegle to be known for, like doing a Chris Hansen sting.
I'm Chris Hansen. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am.
So yeah, overall, it's a pretty sad situation because originally a site that had really good intentions was taken advantage of by very malicious, evil, bad actors. And now the people that actually wanted to legitimately use the site, they can't use it anymore. And also it's more sad to an extent because a chapter of YouTube has almost been closed now because so many YouTubers used to use that to kind of, interact with fans and stuff. Like I said, KSI, PewDiePie. And now, even though they wouldn't have done that nowadays anyway, that's just not going to be a thing anymore. Yeah, overall, what's my take on it? It's a kind of sad situation, but I think the way we could bring it back is get PewDiePie to play Aoni again.
Just read this. Ah! Ah! What the f***, man? Oh, he's still after me! Go! Ah! No, wait! Ah! No, I was so close. Come on. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Like, favorite, and all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
so the first night is never usually that bad in any of the games, so I'll play through. What the?